Jess on his right. Hey, hold up. Don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Wake and Jake in the morning. Wake and Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Ooh. Good morning, Bakers. Good morning, Uncle Jake. Good morning, Zendino the Great. What is going on, everybody? Live in the chat, producer BBD on the ones and twos, looking at all sorts of types of shoes. I don't know what that was. Sorry, everyone. We'll just run it from the top. Dump it. No, we're going to run with the show. Happy Thursday, everyone. Sports hot. August. Hot.
Actually, it's been kind of a cool August.
Man, there was a couple nice mornings.
Weather's held
Last
up.
night got really comfy. And, man, in a month goes by quick. September, Labor Day, like kind of end of summer.
Wow.
So, enjoy it, people. If you're debating one of these August weekends, going to the beach or something, do it. Do it. It's going to end. It ends for everyone. We all die. Bakers, we're going to have a fun little Wake and Jake bake this morning. We'll circle up on some baseball. You guys love the baseball. You love your mother-in-law.
Shut up, Paul.
And then we will talk Olympics. This has been your home for all the Olympic coverage. We've gone over every medal given out in every event, so we will continue to do that. Football's like, here, there's really not much to talk about. I'll be honest with you. I mean, teams are reporting there's some Wentz stuff yesterday. He's still broken.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Mentally,
don't actually know what
physically.
his injury is, but I know he's hurt.
Still a little while away to talk about that. I think there's a preseason game tonight. I think there's a preseason football game
I can
tonight.
find
if
that
you're a
out
real
so
sicko,
easily.
right? I'm going to click one button and find out. Yeah, the Hall of Fame game, Dallas-Pittsburgh.
Hell yeah.
It's tonight, so that's got to be really exciting for some people. NBA had a hot week in the streets. It was NBA free agency, which they crush. So much going on. If you're an NBA fan, it's crack. Our Knicks did pretty well. Who's the other, winners? Who's walking away we did great?
I think the Heat are probably the other,
The Heat
the
did a
biggest
lot.
winner of free agency.
Chris Paul back
Lakers
to the
are getting some
Lakers
ring
doing
chaser
some
dudes.
stuff. Okay, so we'll talk
We'll get
about that
into it.
in a little bit. We're going to do a game of the night, and it's going to be high and tight. We have tradition for a reason, so what we might hit it. Was looking around. Probably some Olympic stuff. US 4x100. What's going on, fellas? That's not good. That's not good. We're supposed to run. Run fast. Game of the night. We're going to head out to the Bay Area real quick. And it's a team that we're going to be watching the rest of the season as baseball fans, as Yankees fans. A team you should probably be watching the rest of the season. The Oakland Athletics hosted the San Diego Padres. Joe Musgrove on the bump for the Fathers versus Frankie Montas. Big Frank. David Morin in the chat, you look so Italian right now. Well, that'll happen. That's in the blood. Speaking of, in the second, Disco Jed Lowry with the homers. He's still having a good year. We'll look into that in a second. I think so. Good for you, Jed Lowry. But then the Fathers, they have a big third and fourth inning. Frazier with the RBI single. Adam Frazier over from the Pirates. People forget. Trade deadline. Trent Grisham with the big double and Victor Caratini. Wee. Like a cap car.
Jed Lowry having a nice year still.
3-1 Padres. It would stay that way into the ninth, and here comes Melanson, who has been so good for the Fathers this year. They push two across. Matty Chapman infield single. Oh, no. And then Jan Gomes, another trade deadline piece. He gets the RBI single, locked up at threes. Buenos Cantos, we're playing fake baseball. Padres push one across, fielder's choice. That's all you need to score a run. But date my daughter. Matt Olson with the 2 RBI double, walk off to win it. Oakland wins. They go to 61-48. And I think they salvaged that series. Oh, my God. I wish you could see the buttons I just clicked to go the wrong way. ESPN pop-up thing just totally got me. That was a 2-gamer, so they split it. Who doesn't love a good interleague 2-game set? So that was a quick game of the night. Just Oakland are going to be one of the teams in the spotlight going forward in the baseball community. Excuse me. And obviously, we have our eyes on them because they are our current restrictor plate for the Yankees to get into the playoffs. So, and man, the A's made moves at the deadline. We didn't talk about them a lot, but Starling Marte is a huge piece. We talked a lot about him for the Yankees, for Houston, for big teams.
He ends up on a team that didn't necessarily need him.
Hey, I mean,
isn't that the best?
Well, I hope it is because I told you guys my sicko thoughts on talking Yanks. I hope I can laugh at the end of this year and be like, oh, thank God he ended up on Oakland and not Houston or the Dodgers because they get everyone, or Padres because they get everyone, or another team. So that was a quick game of the night. BBD, we went to the Yankees game last night. They won another set. That is neat. Starting to become real and important.
If they take care of business against Seattle, it starts to get fun because then Seattle's kind of dead. And this is the part of the schedule they had to get fat between their last 2 series. Seattle, you got to win this series, and then Kansas City.
They've had to go and they've gone.
They've done their job,
which is good. And yeah, again, every series still crazy important. The Yankees are 2 games out of the wild card. So I'm actually a little mad at Matt Olson right now because if we were 1 game out, I think we'd be going nutty.
Coming off.
But you know what? I actually like that. Let's not get nutty yet.
Keep us humble.
Yankees are 5 games back of the Boston Red Sox. What was their biggest lead up on the Yanks this year? Did they ever get to 10?
I don't know about 10, but
I know they were at 9 for sure.
They've hovered around 8 for a long time.
So Boston, things are starting to get tight butthole over there. They lost the series to Detroit, right? Or no, they decide the series tonight. They lost the first game after getting swept by the Rays.
Looks like they won last night.
They won last night, 4-1. So kind of a big game for Boston today. Like Boston, you either right the ship today, and it's like, okay, we won the series, let's get going. We've won 2 in a row. Or now you've lost 3 straight series? Or, excuse me, they split. They played 4 with the Blue Jays. But kind of a sneaky big 1 p.m. Detroit Red Sox matchup today, if you're into that kind of thing. Full day of sports, right? We got baseball day games. Olympics are just always on.
Ending. Olympics always on.
Olympics are constant.
We mentioned the Hall of Fame game tonight. If you're a sicko,
right? Sure, a lot of people will probably tune into that.
Or in the part of the year of the NBA, a weird thing could happen at any moment.
Meatball down my leg.
Ben Simmons hasn't been traded yet,
so we're waiting on that. Blue Jays are playing a pretty good brand of baseball, and there's some numbers that would point you in their direction. They have a better. BBD, we might have just stumbled into a stat noise. Ooh. Here we go.
I got stuff.
Okay. So run differential, which a lot of people around baseball like. Trevor Plouffe's a big fan.
In the past, I've heard it described pretty often as the best indicator of future success.
Yeah, it can, you can cook the books a little bit, but
I think it's falling out of favor a little in recent years.
But also there's balance to it.
Baseball does stuff, but over a year it evens out, I think.
So, 13 plus 46 plus 49 The Red Sox, Athletics, and Yankees combined have a plus run differential of 108. The Blue Jays are 111. So, in terms of outscoring opponents, the Blue Jays have outscored their opponents more than the Yankees, A's, and Red Sox combined. So, don't sleep on the Blue Jays. Do not sleep on the Blue Jays. The Mariners are right there, and like BBD said, if they were to put in some work this weekend, they got 4 against the Yankees. They win 3 out of 4, they jump the Yanks.
They're looking at this as the chance to propel themselves back.
And I believe the Yankees' rotation is listed as Nestor Cortez Jr. up in the air, in quotes, is the actual listed quote from Aaron Boone. I think Andrew Heaney and Luis Hill. So
Luis Hill for his second career start.
Andrew Heaney's second career as a Yankee, where he get rocked in his first one.
Facing a team who has seen him a lot.
Yes. So
She's typically advantage hitter.
I'll say this. The Yankees, who have been one of the best teams in the AL for the past month or so, I think that's July 4th. It's August 4th. They can drive a stake through Seattle's chest, which would really make the AL wildcard kind of bona fide. The AL East is going to be the AL East.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa, Boston still have to come back a little bit,
yeah,
but they're in the neighborhood now. You're a series away.
You're allowed to dream.
You're a series away. So Tampa, Boston, the Athletics, Yankees, and Blue Jays. Seattle, you're still there right now. Nobody's believed in you all year. You have a negative 49 run differential that's similar to Detroit. That's similar to the Angels. Worse than the Angels. So that's fun in the American League. Excited to see how that sorts out. In the National League, Scherzer made his debut yesterday.
Gross.
Double-digit punchies. He's really good, it turns out. Our guy AJ Pollock with the Instagram post. Glad he's on our team. Athlete stuff.
Yeah.
Got to cover the basics a little bit. San Diego Fathers are in the second wild card, and they are 4 games up on Cincy. If Cincy could make that 3 or 2, we can have some fun conversations. Padres have a lot of important games left to play. They don't have Tatis. Outside of Musgrove, I think their starting pitchers have been struggling a little bit.
Snell just hasn't really put it together all year.
So, we'll see if that can become interesting. I mean, the only other... Wow. I did not realize the NL East clenched.
Ooh.
Phillies are a game and a half back of the Mets. The Atlanta Braves are 2.5 games back of the Mets. The NL East has just started. And we've talked about it. I think we've talked about it on here.
It looks like the Braves broke their every other streak.
And they broke it with a win, which was huge. They needed that. Phillies have won 4 in a row. Who did they play? Look at some Philly schedule stuff. Nationals, good.
Yeah, they had just gotten embarrassed by Pittsburgh. So.
Pirates and Nationals? God, Phillies. Whatever, that's fine. Who do they have coming up? And a reminder, if you either heard it on here or if you didn't, ooh, we got the Phillies playing the Mets this weekend in the city. Holy simoleons. What do we got for pitching matchups? Gibby versus Stroman on ESPN. Grab
Friday
the loop.
night.
You say that? Why not? Lotion up your legs, people.
That series finale is looking nice, too.
And then, no starter listed on Saturday for Philly versus McGill, who's been really good for the Mets. Good for him. And then Zach Wheeler versus Taijuan Walker. Oh, baby. What are we going to be talking about on Talking Baseball on Monday? Will the Mets still have the NL East? Jeepers, creepers, where'd you get them peepers? Mets have to win against the Marlins today to save a 4-game set.
Phillies, their next 3 series are important.
And I don't know,
Phillies have Mets, Dodgers, Reds.
we've talked
Take care of
about it.
business.
We've talked about it on Talking Baseball, and I think here a little bit. Mets have 13 straight against the Dodgers and the Giants. Like, 2 of the top 3 teams in the NL all year. And, I mean, part of that's a West Coast trip. They go out. San Fran, Dodgers. Dodgers, San Fran, Dodgers, San Fran. I don't know, man. I know Mets fans have a weird relationship with us. I'm not rooting against you, the Mets. That's just brutal. That's brutal. Survive it and you're good. Washington, Miami, Washington, Miami.
Yeah.
So wait. Time out. From August 13th, or no, from August 10th to September 9th, the Mets play 4 teams. What? How did this happen?
If you go
1 month.
nah, can't. That's not an interesting
okay.
tidbit.
I
They
liked what
play
you were
Philly
trying to do.
close to either side of that.
I saw the Philly sandwich
This-
there.
the Cardinals series threw it off because the other series is Yankees, which means they get to just stay at home.
I mean, I guess that's your solace if you're Mets fans.
You're not dead if you.
Washington, Miami, yeah.
Yes, but-
As much hate as you're, quote unquote, hate as you're going to get for playing 2 of the best teams. It's not hate, it's just reality.
If you get
It's a
if you
brutal
get beat by them, you won't be in
It's
first.
a
for
brutal
bit.
schedule for any team. Any team in baseball, we'd say, holy smokes. Circle that. It's going to suck.
That's like the scariest 2 weeks on the schedule any team can have this year.
But then Washington, Miami. So you can balance that out a little bit.
Over the course of that 4-week run,
And let's
you
see.
can even that out.
In September, man. So Yankees, Cardinals, Phillies, Boston, Milwaukee, Miami, Atlanta.
Ending the series at Boston, at Milwaukee, home against Miami, who cares, and then at Atlanta, who maybe will be alive.
Yeah, I guess that Milwaukee one is a total wild card because they should
Maybe
have the
Milwaukee
division.
won't
Are they lining up their
care
rotation,
anymore.
and what does that mean? That could be
they're gonna let
a
guys
good thing.
5 and fly.
That could be a good thing or a terrible thing. That could be the series
They could
they
be
set
lined
up.
to
Corbin's,
be there.
Peralta, and Woodruff, and then you're having a bad time. Man, hey, I know it got some tweets on the internet. And again, we're Yankees fans, but what's been an incredible Mets season, they are 56 and 51. I mean, what's the Yankees record? How am I so far away from a records page?
Why am I on? I'm so
The Yankees are 58 and 49. So 56 and 51, 58 and 49 for the Yankees. So they'd be what, 2 games up?
They played this. Are the Mets caught up on games fully?
I guess so.
Yankees have at least one doubleheader on
Yeah.
the books and one makeup game, so they're in theory 2 behind. But like every team's a couple behind.
So, Mets fans, hold on to your butts. Clean win today against the Marlins is really important. Who do they have throwing? So that's your little baseball recap. I would still root for the Cincinnati Reds to get back in it, but that would also be rooting against the Padres, which is tough.
Mets
like
have
the
Rich Hill.
Padres.
Marlins have Braxton Garrett pitching today.
Oh, Braxton Garrett. They got their man.
Jorge Alfaro batting 3-hole for the Marlins today.
Wowie, wow, wow, wowie, wow, wow.
Joe Panic playing first.
Joe Panic playing first. So I think
I
that's...
think Javi Baez homered last night, so cool.
I like that. I think that's the baseball. Anthony Rizzo is still a hero in New York. Sounds like Baez might be
loves
becoming a hero. Mets at noon today, so that's really coming up.
Yeah. At least through the first series, I think that homer he hit in his first game was the only hit he had. But if that's the hit you're going to have.
Hit a couple.
So I don't
Cole-
know how he's been since statistically, but I'm sure they like him. God, that's such a perfect fit.
Cole Hamels went to the Dodgers. We'll see if that means anything. We haven't seen Cole twirl it in a little while, but
If nothing else, it's you
Could
can
be
fire
good.
off your.
Could be
Imagine saying in 2013 you were gonna have Kershaw, Hamels, Price, and Scherzer on the same team, and none of them are the best pitcher.
couple guys missing too. Yeah. Let's see. MLB to start 22 season on March 31st if there's no work stoppage. Can't even think about that. Field of Dreams game coming up. U.S. facing Japan for gold medal. It's exciting. Our guy Tanaka on the mound for Japan.
Oh, that is yeah. They beat. That was like kind of a
Yeah.
gut punch loss for the U.S.
So when is this game? Japan.
Did it happen
5-0.
already? Because I think I saw our account tweet that.
I think they were tweeting it this morning that they're playing either like tonight.
I thought we put out a tweet last night of like Kyle's alarm for 5:55.
Let's see. 9:53 a.m. It says they beat South Korea on Thursday night to earn a berth in this weekend's gold medal match.
Okay.
So I still don't know when. Sorry, my research department in my brain is having a tough one on this. We'll see. They'll play at some point. Saturday at 6 a.m., says Fayao in the chat.
Saturday.
So
he's setting an alarm.
So I'm
up
not
ahead
going
of
to
time.
watch that? I don't know.
Saturday.
Saturday, 6 a.m.?
I get that they're over there. It's a normal time for them.
I mean, I guess I could trick myself into a 7 a.m. and then catch up on an hour. I don't know.
I'll be honest, that's not going to happen for me.
Yeah,
But
that's fair. That's fair. That's the baseball recap. They're playing one football game tonight. It's fake football.
Yeah.
You'll flip over for a second. You watch one play, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm good on this.
I'll see a tweet from like a cool pass that happens.
You'll see a quarterback you recognize from high school, from college. Let's see.
You'll hear a name.
Dallas Cowboys depth chart. Let's see who their backup quarterback is.
They're playing the Steelers. I'll look up their depth chart.
Huge. Dallas Cowboys, Garrett Gilbert, and Ben DiNucci.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Sunday Night Football legend? Ben DiNucci?
Feels
Is it
right.
Monday night?
Cooper
Cooper
the
Rush?
Steelers have Haskins now.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's
forgot about
fun.
it. So he's probably going to get the bulk of the game because
Bobby Skinner will be
Ben and
watching.
Rudolph are there. Yeah.
So,
Jalen Samuels.
Mike Urban in the
Number
chat.
4 wideout.
Can you bet the Hall of Fame game? Absolutely.
I'd be surprised if you didn't.
Absolutely.
Chaz Green, third string left tackle for them.
Football's coming. We'll get some stuff lined up. Hopefully, Chris Rose, Bobby.
Steelers third string safety Lamont Wade.
Oh, wow. Friends or family? Family and friends. BBD, people know you're a basketball guy. Guy's guy. Which website did you say was the best for this?
So the two links I sent you, NBA.com has organized by the team transactions.
Okay.
So if you just want to see names,
Right.
and CBS I think has the numbers on there.
Okay. Well, let's start off, BBD, because it's our show with the New York Knicks. You're wearing a shirt of theirs, and they made some of the most noise in this free agency.
And some of the most, probably the two biggest moves of the two biggest, most recent moves.
Right. So it looked like the Knicks were going to run it back, which we're semi-happy with. Last year was fun.
I was prepared to be very okay with what they did.
Right. They bring back Derrick Rose. They
30
bring
hours
back
ago.
Nerlens Noel. They bring back Alec Burks. They bring back Taj Gibson. Not in that order, but
They set.
we're all
the
around
big
it.
move was replacing Bullock with Fournier, who on the offensive end provides more consistent shooting and scoring.
Evan Fournier has been getting buckets in this league for a few years now. Interested to see what he looks like on a night-to-night basis. I have no idea.
My understanding, I think he's a little Burksian, like he can, but like on a starter level,
But a lot more
kinda
consistent,
take
I'd
over.
have to assume.
More consistent. I mean that in that like any given possession, he can kind of be your point guard that possession.
Sure.
And so I was kind of
Handle.
content with, they bring back everybody. Fournier is kind of the big move, and they have a bunch of dudes who, for any given like 5-minute run, you might be okay with them.
Knicks
being
have
your
talent.
Facilitator between Randall, RJ, IQ, Fournier, Burks. You can piece together adequate regular season point guard play there.
Lineups.
You can do Tibbs stuff.
And man, I've gone on some Knicks rants before about how bad they've had some point guard play with what Derrick Rose is now, a resurged Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker. We'll see what he's got in the tank. Kemba's gonna have something. I'm not sure what it looks like. I love Kemba Walker. I'm biased. He's arguably my favorite basketball player ever. The UConn highlights, the UConn run to the championship. Kemba is goated by me. I love him. So to watch him play in the Garden every night is awesome. Nothing short. And there's a
the question with him.
few moving parts there. I mean, if you can keep Kemba and D Rose like under 30 minutes a night during the regular season, which Tibbs will be tempted to not. So that's going to be fun to watch. But there's a lot of other talent, and then Julius Randle gets the bag. 4 for 117.
Yeah, it's incredible for the Knicks that he took that, because I
Right.
think if he made another All-NBA team this year, he's eligible for like big money.
5,200 or something crazy, right? So
Yeah, or maybe I don't know the full rules. Maybe he would have just had to make an All-Star team and gotten there. But
you wonder. We credit players for betting on themselves. I guess Julius doesn't there, but he also gets crazy money, which he was a year ago. He was not promised that in this league at all. At all. So the Knicks are fun again. The conversation and what a lot of the talk shows and everything they're doing is the, what does it mean? And to say you have no idea. I mean, the Knicks looked like a team that we've never seen before last year. And they're adding talent. So be excited about that. RJ Barrett probably is your linchpin there.
Oh, there's a lot that depends on him improving.
Right.
from where
Like,
he
he's your
was.
biggest variable. Julius Randle's probably going to be...
They have a lot of
Good.
young dudes, and Randall himself is still pretty young. Can get better than what we saw. It'd be hard to imagine a jump as big as last year.
Yeah.
But he can still improve around the margins for sure. What will take the Knicks to the next level with what they've got is, one, Kemba being healthy.
Yep.
2, RJ.
RJ's improvement.
Like everything else,
back.
It's nice to have around the periphery, like improvements from all the young dudes they have, which they haven't had to give any of them up. There's room to make a big trade at some point. It's pretty awesome.
Rip Hamilton is the best UConn player besides Holdsclaw. I believe Shamika Holdsclaw was a Tennessee gal, so I'm going to take that as fighting words. Megamundi in the chat. The Knicks did some fun stuff. BBD, what else is going on? Sixers, some weird stuff.
Sixers kind of haven't done anything.
Drummond,
And the Lakers just kind of switched Drummond and Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard back in L.A. for a third stint is funny. The Bulls are kind of a story. It's getting overlooked a little bit.
Yes.
I think some people love what they did. Some people really hate what they did.
Lonzo Ball, sign and trade. I love me some Lonzo. DeMar
gets his big
DeRozan
deal.
goes to the Bulls. Alex Caruso goes to the Bulls. So, yeah, Chicago's excited. With Zach LaVine, that's going to be interesting.
That's like not to immediately bring it back to the Knicks, but think about what DeMar DeRozan is at this point.
Right.
And how old he is. He's 31 already. He and Randall will have the same salary for the next several years, and by the end of Randall's extension, he will be younger than DeRozan is today.
I like that.
And I like that for Randall.
Yeah. And what's the name? I think it's Fredo on Knicks Twitter. He kind of had a good point. If the Knicks did what the Bulls did this offseason, I think they'd be getting crushed. Just destroyed. And we'd be sitting here as Knicks fans like, let's see.
Yeah, we'd get excited.
And we'll give the Bulls some benefit of the doubt.
I wanted Lonzo. I'm a
I
Lonzo guy.
love me some Lonzo. And man, Levine has some actual talent around him, which
Let's see what he does with that.
I don't think he was in a similar ilk as Devin Booker, because Booker kind of was efficient in losing.
Everyone
Zach
who
LaVine
watched him and knew if you got talent.
Zach
around him.
LaVine was inefficient in losing, and then he improved and he got better, and credit to him.
Much more efficient now.
So he's the one you got to circle. Let's find out what he is. I don't know. Bulls made something happen, so good for them. Hawks basically re-signed their guys. That's good. What's the other movement? I mean,
the Heat we mentioned in passing, but they get Kyle Lowry as a big move on the first day, 3 for $90.
Lowry.
Which I figured he was going to get a 2-year big money deal. He gets a 3-year big money deal.
Jimmy Buckets got paid.
Jimmy
Duncan
Buckets
Robinson got paid.
extension.
PJ
Yes.
Tucker, Oladipo set to return. So yeah, Markieff Morris.
They're pretty firmly a top 4 team in the East
Wow.
again.
Miami Heat depth chart. Okay.
So they're they're probably big picture the winners of the offseason or for improving for next year.
So let's see. They can go Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Buckets, PJ Tucker, Bam Adebayo, Markieff Morris. Okay. If you get Oladipo in that mix.
If Oladipo can figure out health and playing,
Okay.
Markieff Morris too is a nice player for the Lakers. Last couple
Oladipo back
years.
on 1-year deal. Okay. So yeah, the Heat are legit. That's something you need to know. When NBA
Markieff
season
Morris
gets
and PJ Tucker, particularly PJ Tucker, they can unlock some stuff for them.
I think the other thing
Tony Bradley to the Bulls.
I saw one. Jazz are kind of doing lame Jazz fun things. Another UConn shout out. Rudy Gay's going to the Jazz. Don't know what he has in the tank. Eric Paschall is going over there. He's actually a fun player. Whiteside to back up Gobert. Dragic.
I missed the Whiteside one.
Oh no, Dragic is going to Toronto. Excuse me.
They keep Conley.
Yeah. What was the other team? Well, Lakers did Laker stuff.
They're getting the ring chaser crew.
Beautiful or a disaster. Carmelo, Dwight, Ariza, Bazemore, Kendrick Nunn, Malik Monk, Ellington. So that's
a bunch of dudes who have had a stint there already.
Oh, the other thing I heard that's kind of sad. I heard that New Orleans is just a mess.
Yeah, a little bit.
I saw a couple tweets that were like, the Pelicans, man, they had all this ammo and they have everything and they have Zion.
And I think they still have the picks to cash in, but you need. That's what makes the Knicks stuff so exciting because they haven't given up their assets yet, and now they could, in theory, go make a Beal trade, and that can put them into another tier.
That is exactly what New Orleans needs.
Yeah, and New Orleans, they need another piece to step up. I mean, I guess Zion and Ingram are both there.
They have Ingram, Zion, and Valanciunas, which is a pretty good NBA front
made
court.
that trade, yep.
Jackson
On the
Hayes
Lakers
backing them
got
up.
Russ, which I don't think we talked about here.
Yeah. Oh, is that? Lakers are going to be wild this year.
That's crazy.
Know what I did see, which was fun?
I think Russ finished the year well. But
Did you see the Melo Russ video?
Oh yeah, and they played together in OKC.
Whenever they won the tip-off in OKC, it would go to Melo, and he'd do a fun roll to Russ, and then Russ would flip it up. So, look forward to that, maybe, Lakers fans.
They get some mellow start games.
But yeah, circle the Pelicans, because if they don't get Bradley Beal or make a big move, because right now their backcourt is Nikolai Alexander Walker, Kira Lewis Jr., Devontae Graham, and Thomas Satoransky.
Yeah,
It's not what you
One of them
want,
could step
though.
up and be a nice player. You would imagine they're a couple years away from that. And that's the problem there. They can go pull off the Beal move. I think they got. My guys tell me they got kind of close at the deadline. They were the hottest team on Beal earlier this year, but they.
Josh
But
Hart.
then they'd have cashed in all their chips there, so
Right.
that's sort of just what you've got.
And I mean,
So they're in a
what does
weird
that-
spot.
What does that get you?
They
in the
lose Van
West?
Gundy. Yeah, in the West. You lose Van Gundy after a year. Not lose him, you fired him.
Right.
It's like, well, I don't know what happened there.
It's just something to circle for NBA stuff because Zion is going to become more and more hot in the streets.
2 years from restricted free agency stuff.
It's when players start kind of thinking about making moves.
He's talking a lot about the Knicks, and they have a lot of chips.
Zion Williamson ends up on the Knicks. I am not going to be mentally stable. That's the NBA. It's kind of rolling. There's a lot more. There's 30 teams. We're not going to do all of it here.
Yeah. OKC.
Kelly
extended,
Olynyk to the
SGA.
Pistons. Olynyk to the Pistons.
Suns bring back Chris Paul, which is big and helps them a lot next year. Curious about the
they'll run it
long-term
back.
effects.
Campaign.
JaVale McGee's a nice ad.
Campaign is back. NBA hot in the
I
streets.
like that landing spot for JaVale.
Good. Hot in the Twitter streets. It's a fun time. Spencer Dinwiddie to the Wizards. That's the shooty hoops for now. BBD, I mean, we're the home of the Olympics coverage. So we need to get all of that out there. We talked about the men's
big
baseball.
extension.
Yeah, Steph getting paid. We mentioned U.S. men's baseball Saturday a.m. at 6. We'll talk about that. I think the women's national team got the bronze today. I think that was a little bit of a bummer for them. Well, obviously they want gold. A lot of athletes want gold. I guess they salvage a medal, but I think that's going to be kind of the end of a run for this U.S. women's national team. I mean, Rapinoe, Alex Morgan. I feel like they've been there for a little while. Could be completely wrong. U.S. women's national team people reach out.
I think Alex Morgan is young. She might be able to do one more for
Morgan
3
can
years.
run one back.
She's 30. She just turned 32 last
BBD,
month.
we don't talk about women's age on here.
Right. They're only 3 years away from the next one
I could see
because
that.
we have this one pushed back.
Julie Ertz, hopefully back. Yeah, I know they got upset. I saw some Canada love in the chat. We're huge in Canada. I think they play for the gold tonight, something like that.
Grammy was born and raised in Canada.
Really?
Yeah. I'm more Canadian than anything else,
Whoa.
which it occurred to me on a drive home the other day.
I don't know if I was ready for that.
Yeah.
Jeez. I've been watching some track and field. Half fun, half not.
Yeah, to catch
Need a
the
couple
right
more
event.
stars.
Yeah, I think by the next Olympics
Who's
we'll
a
have
track
our
and field
name.
star?
Well, it was gonna be.
Right, Shikari.
Yeah.
It should have been.
It kind of still
It
is.
still
but
is. That sucks.
I have a funny TikTok to show you after.
Dude,
this.
I would be so dialed for Shikari's runs. And now I kind of don't care.
Yeah.
That sucks. Saw some decathlon. A little weird. Take back what I said on JJR, that winning that would be cool. Looks like there's some equestrian stuff. Feel like I watched some wrestling. That was pretty wild. It's wild that we just do that. Definitely had some ancient Olympic vibes. Like
that.
Grab your best wrestlers and let them go. It's like, whoa. And I don't want this. I mean, no, I won't even. The wrestling was pretty wild just to watch people size each. There's something insane about getting the best wrestler from Canada and the best wrestler from Turkey and saying, go at it. Like, I realize that's the entire Olympics, but something about wrestling just makes that a little weird. Like, what? I guess it's the OG, like, Olympics, though.
I guess it
Who
is
can
kind
pin
of
each other?
I don't know. When you think about people trying to come up with the first sports,
Yeah.
you do like racing each other and wrestling each other.
And I guess that's what's wild in my head. I love the 100-meter sprint, which is probably the most traditional track event. But wrestling is still... I enjoy it, but it's a little bizarre.
Yeah.
Wrestle me.
There's a little bit. There's a part of it's like we still do this.
And then I was wondering, would they ever make UFC an Olympic sport? But my buddy had a good point, is that, like, those guys take 6 months between fights. You can't just set up a 16-person bracket and say fight 4 times or whatever. UFC doesn't work like that.
They, like, both guys, like, die.
You can win and break your leg, you know? So yeah, I don't think we'll ever see that, which is unfortunate. But, I don't know, did you see any Olympic stuff you need to talk about, BBD? What's even coming up?
Like, I try to be... The one I, like, try to be locked into is the basketball, and I like... Even that, I kind of can't.
It's tough. Let's see. I'll bring up a schedule, see if there's anything.
It's so hard for
coming
me
up.
to, like, find an Olympic thing to watch on purpose.
Let's see. Canoe sprint. It's just not happening. Beach volleyball final tonight. Interested. Been watching some of that. So much canoe stuff. My God. Canoe and wrestling. Like all night. Been there. The men's 20-kilometer walk is at 3:30 a.m. It's a tough watch.
I'll flip.
It's a tough watch.
If you're having trouble falling asleep, feel free to
Wow.
put that. Watch some guys walk.
Cycling sprint. I'm trying to see, like, when do the Olympics end? Soon? Is it this weekend?
August 8th.
That's Sunday.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
According to Google. Which I believe blindly.
That's nuts. That happens fast, man.
It's a sprint.
Final event looks like it's the men's water polo final at 3:30 a.m. on Sunday. So
Perfect time to end it.
get ready to watch that.
So American.
So American. BBD. I think that's a lot of sports. Hope you guys liked it. Which brings us to the comment of the day, Bakers. That's you, the Wake and Jake Bakers. I ask you guys to bake the algorithm, and you say, what's that mean? Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Leave a podcast review. Oh, I should get into the podcast reviews. It's been a minute.
We haven't asked for those in a little bit. Told
It's
people we're
been
gonna check
a minute. I'm going to look. I'm sure we've got some new ones. Right now, I do have last episode's YouTube comments up. Let me see. Oh, this was a shorter episode. Nick Comstock said he preferred that because he's got a half hour, not an hour to give. I'm sorry. John Von Braun, the most liked comment. Jake's the type of guy you stumble upon at the edge of a mosh pit at a regional NASCAR race. Caked with dirt, sweaty, rockin' gray cargo pants, no shirt, a silver flask in hand. As the cars whirl around you, you ask him, bro, you need water? Unperturbed, he mindlessly shrugs you off and breaks into a gallop once more as the mosh pit fights to pick up again. Before you know it, he's disappeared back into the fire and chaos, indistinguishable among the mudslinging dirt and covered men of the pits. Passionate. Not completely wrong. I've never done NASCAR. I'm interested.
That's the type of guy you are.
I will say one of my downfalls that I am trying to get better at. Wow, podcast app just not working right now, so tough to get some reviews.
I'll see if
323 ratings. We got over 3.5 subs. Thank you guys. Poppy Gordo hit 50K today on the Twitter. Ooh, that's big, people. That's filling a stadium with Jake's Jesters. So, thank you guys. You're genuinely the best. I truly appreciate it. I will say one of my downfalls, and I said with 50K, I was going to reveal some secrets. One thing that John Von Braun did hit that I wish I would get a little less proud about, I'm not good at mixing in a water. If I've already committed to having a couple drinks, I'm already in the deep end. Like, I might as well keep swimming. I should mix in the water a little more. I get it. I'll try. Maybe that'll be my new thing. mixing in the water. But yeah, I don't traditionally do that.
I've got the podcast reviews up.
BBD podcast reviews from BBD.
I think the one I like the most.
Okay.
It's from April. The subject is I have a question. Is it poo poo pee pee or pee pee poo poo? Answer's pee pee poo poo. But made me laugh. I appreciate asking.
It's a little more transitive in my head than I imagined.
For me, it's a clear pee pee poo poo.
I see what you're saying, and I mean they do have a numeric order, 1 and 2.
They have a numeric order, and I think like there's theories about like vowels and stuff, or like when you have noises like that. These are actual words, so it's a little different, but like what makes sense in our brains is
noises.
Alphabetical. Like E comes before O.
I could see that. Logan Odekirk in the chat said, "Weird time to join."
Right.
Sure was, brother. Let's do our bro of the nights. If people live in the chat,
This one from April 10th, right under it. If you want a podcast full of sex, this is the place to be.
it's true. It's very true. Live in the chat, I love you guys every day. If you guys want to get a couple questions out there, I said for 50K, I'd hold no secrets. So maybe I'll pick 1 or 2. The Bro of the Night award. You know what? I'll do a silly one. I didn't have one prepared. I saw this quote this morning. He's from a guy who is a legend. He tries to be a legend a little bit, but he is leaning into his own skin. Gardner Minshew had a quote this morning, or a couple days ago. If you remember Gardner Minshew, the fun quarterback for the Jaguars, Washington State. Mustache, mullet, jean shorts. I think he was living out of an RV. The Jaguars drafted Trevor Lawrence, one of the better quarterback prospects in a long time. And this will get you guys starting to get ready for football season. He said he didn't take a poop for 2 weeks because he doesn't want to give in to being number 2. Number 2 isn't an option. So there's a little football guy stuff for you. A good poop joke from Gardner Minshew, not Trevor Lawrence. And we were just kind of on the topic, so stumbled into that one. So Gardner Minshew, football season coming. How about that? Who's your bro of the night, PBD?
I'm going to tie it back to the Knicks a little bit. It's kind of a split award between Julius Randle and Scott Perry. Like Scott Perry got shit on for a long time for
A lot of poop.
He's a lot of poop this ep, and he got lumped into a lot of the previous the Steve Mills regime, and nobody knows exactly what his role was in a lot of things. The indications you hear is Perry was pretty instrumental in liking Julius Randle as a free agent and identifying that like Porzingis, which at the time we thought was a disaster move, but he identified that Porzingis doesn't need to be here.
Yeah, that's looking pretty okay.
And kind of every move that it sounds like Perry was instrumental in, namely that one. Yeah. But every move has been... It's aged pretty well, and particularly the Julius Randle one, and now the Knicks invested in Julius, both on the court and like emotionally.
Yeah,
and now he's invested. Yeah, back
he's
in the
here.
Knicks.
Like we kind of wondered, was he going to be fun but a sacrifice of growing the Knicks, and now it looks like he's here.
Yeah.
He's here.
He rewards the Knicks for their belief in him by believing in
Zion
them.
Trade.
He believes in them. He signs an extension. At minimum, he would have just gotten quite a bit more in a year. He would have been eligible, I think, for a 5-year extension. Now he signs a 4-year deal. He's going to make less than $30 million, which you look at NBA contracts. For what Julius Randle does for you, that is not...
Being the Knicks, dude.
That is not a bad deal at all for the Knicks, and he's Like he had a quote about loving the fans. So it was fan service.
Sure.
But, like loving the fans, keeping space open for him to do more stuff around him. He loves it here. He's been here 2 years now. He got married a couple years ago when he first came to the Knicks. It's like he and his wife have been married.
Life.
The whole marriage has been in New York.
That's life.
Got another kid coming. Wants to be here.
Beautiful.
And it's between that and Kemba, like it just shows, like the Knicks have like people want to come now, which we've always like
The scope of
tricked
the
ourselves
Knicks.
into every year.
The scope
like, oh,
of the
people will want to
Knicks.
come now. They have the cap space and they're not doing specifically bad stuff, and they actually want to come.
The scope of the Knicks is different. It's different, and we
And Scott
yeah.
Perry gets not enough credit for that, so I guess it's mostly going to Scott Perry.
I like it, BBD. That's good. That's good. Yeah, the Knicks haven't been a running joke for the past year and a half. That's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. In the chat, let's see a couple quick hitters. Jack Sander, favorite type of bagel. I normally go plain.
I'm an everything bagel guy.
Yeah.
But I don't love like a lot involved. Like I don't like doing a sandwich with the bagel.
See, that's my
If I'm having a bagel, I like the bagel.
I guess that's why I lean
That's why you're not
plain,
that
'cause
big a bagel.
If I'm getting like a sausage, egg, and cheese on a bagel, then I just need a plain bagel because then it's just becoming a deliverable. If I'm doing with like cream cheese, I'd go cinnamon raisin. Just cream cheese.
Yeah, my default bagel is everything. Generally speaking, a buttered everything bagel gets me there.
BBD, our guy Normal Dog with another hard hitter. Would you rather be a chipmunk or a squirrel?
Rather be a squirrel.
Think so, right?
But I'd rather be near a chipmunk.
I feel like squirrels have less predators.
Yeah. Chipmunks just like bad stuff happens, and squirrels do too, but
Chipmunks are just so tiny.
yeah.
Like, it feels like
I'd
you
rather
run
be
into
a
the
squirrel.
wrong animal on a wrong day, you're good. Like, who eats squirrels? Like, really big birds? I've never seen
I'm
that.
sure it happens. I'm sure like different parts of the country
Who
where there's
eats
different
squirrels?
different predators going around.
Some orcans, predator squirrels, ferrets, hawks, owls, snakes.
Do wolves get involved?
It says like coyotes and foxes, but I feel like they don't just chase squirrels all day.
No. I mean, like some dogs just like kill squirrels, but they don't eat them.
Right. But again, that's every dog's dream. It's not like there's not a lot of dogs that are bringing like 5 dead squirrels a day. Like, I'd say the best dogs out there get what, 1 squirrel a month,
Yeah.
1 a week.
They get
if
like one
you're
good
really a
chase
killer.
in a week, probably.
Oh, they love to chase squirrels, but
yeah. They might not even really want to kill them. They just like catching them, and they probably kill them in that process. I don't think that's necessarily the dog's goal.
let's see. They get murdered by cats a lot, says Jose.
Cats are killers. They're
Yeah.
natural hunters. Not a bit. Just that's what
I
cats
guess
do.
humans like hunt squirrels, kind of. BB guns? Be a squirrel.
And like there are people that find squirrels cute.
Squirrels feel like they have a
I'm
good
not in that
time.
group,
So
but-
do chipmunks, but
Squirrels do like cool jumping stuff.
if I saw a bird eating a chipmunk, I'd be like, ah, yeah. If I saw a bird eating a squirrel, I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, like the big birds, I guess,
Get
do
outta
catch
here,
them
bird.
every now and then. I think I've weirdly often been around a squirrel that got dropped by hawks. Like it's happened like 3 times, I think.
Tom Ace, my guy, I think final question. He said, what's the weirdest NYC thing you've seen? Any homeless pooping in front of you? I have had some homeless pooping situations. It's crazy how normal it becomes
Ooh, I did have
after
a
the
homeless
first
pooper.
time. I had a really... my favorite one. Was there in the Bronx, Yankee Stadium, coming down the stairs from the train. And you just turn the corner, and in like a tweener stairwell, there's a guy just dropping it. I think he had a newspaper with him. And he didn't speak English. But he he gave like the neighborly wave. Like I was walking by him, and he just gave me a little,
Hey.
like, yeah, I am pooping right here.
We're
I don't
all-
want to be.
We're all in our daily routine.
I don't want to be, but I am, so.
What am I gonna do? Be embarrassed by it? It's what I got to do.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, both of my like homeless people doing gross stuff stories are within a 2-block radius. Both within a block of Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Which like you kind of wouldn't think, because middle of Midtown, you'd think that's where like a lot of people are, and they would find somewhere a little more private. No, this past off season saw a guy pooping there. Middle of the street. There's I think on 32nd. There's like a block there with like some bushes in the middle. He's pooping in there. And a couple of years ago, my dentist is near there, so saw a guy, helping himself out.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Don't
there.
envy their position, because it's objectively a bad place to be. We should do more to help. Someone step in. I don't know.
All right. Well,
that's the homeless.
we landed where we always land on this show. Thank you guys so much. Love Waking and Jakin. I can't believe Olympics are going to be over next episode. Football is going to sneak up. The baseball playoff races are actually getting kind of good. Good job, baseball. Basketball, they're like playing summer league games, right?
Summer League's coming. Knicks just announced Kevin
I saw
Knox is
someone
out.
like at a Jazz game last night. Maybe I dreamed that. All right, everyone. Thank you. So much stuff on the John Boy Media Network.
Olympics ends. Summer League starts August 8th.
Sports never stops, people. Talking Knicks, a little Tom Piccolo soliloquy, I think. I like that. Mansplain.
Maybe I'll add something to that.
Ooh, mansplain baseball. The Compound. Ian Happ, Zach Short, and Dakota Meckes. Got all of them. Whoops. Chris Rose rotation. Brian Wilson episode was pretty wild. I haven't listened to today's. Is it out today?
Yeah.
Jonathan India, that's right, wearing JM merch. JJTV, we're playing JJR from yesterday. Talking Nets, talking Giants, talking Yanks, talking baseball.
Prime baseball coming tonight.
WFAN tomorrow. Tune in, call in. Thank you guys, love you. Bake it.